Well, I lived with my biological mother and my stepfather. There were some things going on in the home, and which kind of led me to having some of, behaviors, but more of just acting out and rebelling and not wanting to be at home. There was a lot of tension between my parents and I, and so that led them to put me into Boys Town, a local Boys Town shelter.
And how old
near
were
where
you
we
then?
live. I was 15 at the time. During the intake there at Boys Town, I ended up just kind of venting and pouring out everything that had been happening in the home, that had been going on that had happened with my stepfather and with my mother. And pretty soon, during the intake process, they brought in more staff because they were realizing that it wasn't me, it wasn't my behaviors that were the problem. It was things that were going on at home. After they did all the interviews and asked all the questions, they sent me to bed, and then the next day they had come in and they said that they had contacted the department and that the department was going to take custody of me and that I would not be going home. Then after that, I was in care for the rest of the time until I aged out.
You had these people sitting down talking with you to sort of let go and sort of say, this is what's going on. Had you done that before?
No, I had not. It was a wonderful feeling, and that someone was actually listening to me. I had told my mother about things that were going on and that had happened, and she had made a promise to me that she would put me first and that I was number one, and she didn't follow through with that. I was the one who they ended up sending away, and I felt very betrayed. And that the one person that I did tell and that I felt safe telling didn't stick up for me, especially being my mother. And so it felt great to be able to talk about it. And it wasn't they weren't things that I could just go and tell anybody, or that I felt close enough to anybody to tell. And so I had it all bottled up inside. And it wasn't just, a summer's worth of things or a year's worth of things. It had been a lifetime worth of things that had built up. And so it was wonderful. And I felt when I first went in, I felt like I had a barrier and that I kind of had to be the tough